babies and elephant, welcome to another new video. My name is Bosley, and today I want to share with you guys a new build called Magic Finder. So it's not necessarily a new build, but this build has been around for a long time. So why you want to go Magic Find? Because Delirium now has a new mechanic, new patch, where you can stack the rewards after you reach a certain threshold. So the first reward, you reach more than 3 level 3. The second reward will trigger, and then after that, you will reach up to like 4 or 5 rewards, depending on how fast you can clear the mobs and depending on how much can you kill. Now, the whole point of having this Magic Find is basically want to have increased item quantity drops from the monsters itself. Now, there's actually a trick. No, I wouldn't say a trick. There's actually a way of doing this where you can farm a low tier map. It's not even a low tier map. It's actually part of the Act quest maps, the Act story map, and you can do it unlimited. You can just reset and keep doing it over and over again. And as you can see the showcase earlier, the drops are actually pretty good. So this build is actually suitable for people who are actually trying to get more currency, trying to grind out, trying to start still new to the game, that's trying to make more currency and buy and switch to another build if they want to play with. So this is actually a very good method to farm currency. Whether or not you will get very huge drops, I don't know yet. I actually run a couple of hours running it and I haven't found anything huge so far. But in terms of raw currency and a lot of jewels and stuff, that's quite a good amount of loot that's dropping as well. Aside from that, one of the very key points of farming this method, this area, is because that there's a lot of chances that you will get unveiled items that will drop, which you can unveil them if you haven't unveiled mostly from your crafting bench yet. So this is actually a very good way to get them as well. So let's jump into the Ascendancy first. So the reason why I'm using Deadeye is because a few reasons. One is because of Tailwind. So the goal here is actually very simple, right? The goal here is actually to run the map as fast as you can, clear everything as fast as you can, reset and repeat. So Deadeye will be a very good option because Deadeye is known to be fast. So the first, this is the Ascendancy points I'm going to go through now. You don't have to get all the Ascendancy points, like you can do up to Merciless, which is the one that is level 68, I think. And you don't even have to, it's not a must-have to have the Uberlap one done, the 75 one. So the first Ascendancy node that you want to get is going through Gathering Winds. So this one basically gives you Tailwind. So it increases your action speed by 10%. So basically your move speed, your attack speed will be increased by 10%, which is a huge buff. So whenever you cast a skill, for example, you use a travel skill, it will trigger the Tailwind and then you will get the action speed faster. And also on top of that, there'll be 1000 evasion rating while you have Tailwind, so it gives you more evasion as well. Then the second node you want to get is Fast Shot. So Fast Shot will increase your projectile speed. So this one will be mainly increasing the speed of all your projectiles, which reaches all the enemies quicker. And then lastly, you want to get Endless Munitions. So Endless Munitions helps a lot because of the area effect, and also if the skill fires an additional projectile, which is really helpful. So this is the Ascendancy nodes that you have to that you want to go through. That will be very suitable for this build. And after the Ascendancy, I want to go through. So the main skill that we are using now is actually Tornado Shot. Tornado Shot recently in the patch of 3.8 or 3.9, they actually nerfed it quite a little, but I actually read through and the nerf wasn't that much of a difference, so it's not too bad. So Tornado Shot is still one of the best bow skills out there in terms of clear speed. So the clear speed is just insane. As you can see earlier in the showcase, according to my level, that showcase earlier was when I was level 75-ish, which the clear speed was okay, it was decent, and you don't need that much of a level to run Act 8 map. It's in Act 8. I'll show you the location in a bit. I'm just going to tell you in general the general summary of the build is actually you don't need that much of a level. I would say being at level 80 will be a bit more comfortable rather than being at level 70. But as low as level 70, you can actually start grinding that area and grind for currency anyway and get that amount of loot. So the amount of loot that you can get, like the reward bars as you fill up, usually on average it's about, the first bar will always be above 5 for sure, and the second bar usually will be above 2 or 3, and then so on. Depends on how fast you can clear. The highest I got was actually the first bar, it was 10. And then after that, I think it was 6 and then 3 and something like that. So I got like 4 types of rewards. So the more rewards you stack, the more levels, the higher amount of drop it will drop. But bear in mind, the magic find doesn't affect, as far as I know, it doesn't affect the drops from at the end of the rewards, the drops from the delirium, the reward. I'm pretty sure it doesn't affect that one, but it does affect the monster drops, because when you kill delirium monsters, they drop stuff as well. So it increases a lot of chances of dropping more stuff. When item quantity drops more stuff, there's a higher chance of dropping more currency, which means that you make more profit. Okay, so now I'm going to go through the gear choices. Firstly, you want to go for Wind Ripper. The reason why Wind Ripper is so good, because it gives you cold damage, it gives you LE attack skills, attack speed, and also the most important part is, this is like one of the only weapons out there that gives you item quantity as well. So it's 15% item quantity drop by slain frozen enemies, because we'll be using the tornado shot based on cold by running Herald of Ice and Hatred. So most of the time you'll be chilling and freezing them most of the time, and then this one will give you 15% extra quantity item drops from the slain enemies. Wind Ripper is actually not expensive. You don't have to go for a 6-link. Everything here, you don't have to go for a 6-link. This is a luxury. It's a luxury choice that you want, right? So you can even go for a 5-link, both 5 links. A 5-link Ripper, I think I got it for like 30 chaos, and you can pretty much cover the cost as soon as you start running the maps. It's pretty easy actually. So Wind Ripper, you want to get a 5-link. The gems I use there, I'll explain later. And then the next one will be Devoto's Devotion. So this one mainly is because of the move speed, because you want to do everything fast. So this one gives you increased move speed of 20%, and also gives you attack speed. As you can see here, I don't even have a helmet enchant for Tornado Shot. So if you want to get a helmet enchant for the Tornado Shot, it will be Tornado Shot fires additional arrow. But if you want that helmet enchant on this Devoto's Devotion, it's going to be 5 to 6 exalts, which is too much to too much to invest right now. The whole idea here is to spend the most minimal amount of currency on the gears and get the maximum amount of profit out of from the loot. So we don't want to spend so much money on our gears anyway. So just a normal Devoto's Devotion will be good enough. Again, the quiver, this is not mandatory at all. You don't need this. All you need is a Hero's Bite, and this will be more than enough for you. Or you can go for Hero's Demise if you want. A Hero's Bite costs less than 5C, I think, so it's really cheap. You can go for Hero's Bite, or yeah, if you can afford, then go for Void Fletcher. Because of the explosion, the Void Charge explodes and it creates a lot of DPS at the end of the explosion as well. So that's the reason why I use this, to help me clear faster. But again, Hero's Bite is more than enough. Now here's the key part of the build, right? The gear. The most important gear parts is Ventus Gamble, Gold Worm. Ventus Gamble basically gives you quantity on the ring, and also it gives you res. The problem is, Ventus Gamble is not going to be cheap if you want to get high quantity and high res on all the rings. But there's a lot of variables out there, and you can actually, look for a decent one for probably about, I would say 30 to 50C. A cheap one can go for like 5 to 10C, but you don't get resistances out of it. So the thing is, if you're running an Act 8 map, your resistances doesn't affect you that much. Like, it's still, of course, having resistances will be very helpful, but it's an Act 8 map, so it won't really kill you that much most of the time anyway. If you're low on a budget, but if you can afford, definitely go for something that gives you res. So this one gives me 6% quantity, this one gives me 8% quantity, so I have 2 of these. I bought this ring for about 50C, and this one was like 40C or something, so both of them is 100C, but definitely you can spend less than 30C for both of the rings with a lower row, okay? Now, this one is a Spine Fused Talisman. It's like one of the talismans out there that gives you quantity. This one I bought it off the market. I think I got it for less than 10C, which is really cheap. So this one gives me cold damage to attacks, LE res, and some elemental damage, which is really cool. I got it for less than 10C. So this one is like something that you want to get. There's another amulet out there that's actually pretty good. It's called Bisco's Collar. So that one, there's no res, no damage, no whatsoever. It just gives you a lot more quantity and item rarity chance on drop. Okay. And the gloves will be Sedima's Touch. This one, again, you get a max roll 10% quantity. It will be 2 chaos or 1 chaos. Cheap, you know. So this one is like one of the cool stuff that you can get for really low price. And then Bisco's Leash is another one. This one basically gives you 5% quantity, and also it gives you Rampage. So Rampage, if you noticed earlier during the showcase, the more monsters you kill, there will be like flames coming out of you, and increases the item rarity of the items as you drop 1% for every 15 kills. So if you get if you get like 60 kills, that gives you extra 4%. Yeah, extra 4%, which is really cool. So this one will give you more item rarity drops as you kill everything, and gives you some cold res as well. So Bisco's Leash is pretty good. Bisco's Leash is about, I'm pretty sure it's less than 50 C. Pretty cheap. And Gold Worms are really good as well, because this gives you 20% item quantity and give you some fire res. You don't have to worry about the move speed, because if you can, go for Queen of the Forest. So this one basically pairs very well with Deadeye, because this one, although it gives you 25% reduced move speed, but the most important thing is you want to stack your evasion, and it gives you increased move speed based on 600 evasion rating. So it goes up to 75%. So it can go really quick if you scale your evasion, and the move speed will scale very well. So Queen of the Forest will give you some life, some res, and most importantly, it's because of the movement speed. Queen of Forest. Queen of Forest, 5 link will be. Let's have a look. So PoE Ninja is the website that I usually look for my stuff that I want to buy. It's a really cool market right now. And let's see. Armors. This is the price based off today. So 5 link Queen of the Forest will be 20C. Cheap, and then you can enjoy the the move speed increment just by from this Queen of the Forest. So this is really cool. So these are the gear choices that I have. In terms of skill gems, it's pretty simple. I have here is the for single target, but this is not what you need right now, because you won't be doing single target anyway. But anyway, I'll just let you know, so in case you want to go for any boss runs and whatnot. I have here Onslaught. The main skill here will be Barrage for single target, supported by Onslaught, Cold Penetration, and Elemental Damage with attacks, and Elemental Focus. So this one is for my single target. For my Helm will be Blink Arrow and faster attacks, just so you can have you can blink away from danger, and then it creates an illusion that fires damage on behalf as well. Minions deal 84% increased damage, and then after that has more life, and the minion deals more damage. So basically it's an illusion of you hitting and taking damage for you as well. And precision, I just keep it at level 1, just for the 20% crit chance. For the gloves, I have Hatred and Herald of Ice, and Portal, just because I want to have portals. I don't want to use portal scrolls. So Hatred and Herald of Ice is the 2 auras that I'm running right now. In terms of the other one will be Summon Ice Golem for more crit chance, and Dash for my mobility skill, and lastly will be Culling Strike for my Summon Ice Golem, so the Ice Golem will clear off anything that with the Culling Strike there's less than 10%. Okay, so these are the skill gems that I have. It's pretty straightforward. In terms of Flask, I have Eternal Life of Flask. This one gives me instant recovery and immunity to bleeding. This one, Jade Flask, is like one of the key flasks that you need. This one gives you 3000 flat evasion, and also it gives you evasion rating increment. You want to roll for that one. Quicksilver Flask, of course, for more move speed and immunity to freeze. Aziri's Promise, just mainly for the DPS output. And Diamond Flask is for the crit chance as well. We are going for crit based ice stab. We're going for crit based cold conversion, basically. So Hero's Bite will be replacing for the Quiver. So these are the gear choices and the Flask, and also the skill gems. So I want to go through the skill tree. So the skill tree is actually pretty simple. Start off with Ranger, Deadeye, move down, and first you want to pick up Heart of Oak, which gives you life, life nodes. You want to have a bit more survivability. Then you can go down and then move up here and get more life. And then you can move this way and then you can get lethality. This one gives you damage, crit chance, and crit multi. Really good. And then afterwards you can move down here and go for Fangs of the Frost. So this one gives you penetration for 8% cold res and some cold damage. If you need some intelligence or strength, you can pick one up over here. And then you can pick Fury Bolts, which gives you some projectile damage. And then Art of the Gladiator, which pairs very well with the Queen of the Forest, because it ignores all movement penalties from the armor. And Bravery will be giving you more life. And then after you want to move upwards to get Herbalism to get more life here. And then Heartseeker for more crit multi. And then you want to pick King of the Hill and Master Fletcher over here for more damage. And then you can pick this later on. This one basically is more survivability because this one gives you dodge attack hits and dodge spell hits. And then move up. This is one of the jewels that you want to pick up. Is called Lionized Fall. So this one basically converts any melee weapon type modifiers radius into bow modifiers. So it transforms these nodes over here from the claw to bow. As you can see here, this is supposed to be a claw node, but now it's a bow node because of Lionized Fall. Lionized Fall is about, I bought this one for like 20C. It's really cheap. And then it converts the melee skills over here to bow skills. Why? Because this one gives you one of the highest crit chance and crit multi in a node, and also gives you some leech. So most of the time you'll be using a lot of mana, so mana leech is very important. So this one gives you 0.8% of mana leech from your attack damage, which is really cool, and life leech as well. So you'll be leeching most of the time. So once you get if you get Lionized Fall first, then you want to go up here and pick this up by going this way, or you can go up this way, it's up to you. And then here again, you can pick up Strength or Intelligence if you need any. And then here is Blood Drinker for more life and leech. And then move left, and Coordination, Blood Siphon for life, Trickery for crit chance, and then Assassination will be really cool because the crit multi here. And then afterwards, you can pick up a Cluster Jewel. So I just want to go through the Cluster Jewel real quick. So the Cluster Jewel I'm using right now is the large cluster will be 12% increased damage with bows. If you guys want to know more about the Cluster Jewels and crafting a Cluster Jewel, it's actually pretty easy. I actually have a build guide I've uploaded yesterday. You guys can check it out on how to craft Cluster Jewels. It will be really helpful. So the Cluster Jewels I picked for the large cluster will be 12% increased damage. And then after that, this one gives Broadside and Devastator. So in Cluster Jewels, you want to pick the least amount of passive skills as you can get, so that you don't have to reach so far for the nodes that you want. So I pick 8, and here this one I get Devastator. So Devastator gives me 15% chance to explode the enemy and dealing 10 of their life as physical damage around the area, which is really good for clearing. And also, the medium cluster here will give me pressure points and savage response. So pressure points is actually 5% chance to deal double damage and 40% crit chance, which is really good. Pressure points is something that you really want to get. And also give you savage response, which is 50% crit multi if you've taken the savage hit recently, because we are rangers and Deadeyes usually tend to be a bit soft, so when you run around sometimes you do tend to take a savage hit, but this gives you advantage over that, so it gives you critical strike multiply increment. Okay, and also 40% crit chance. So this is the cluster jewels I'm using right now, and that's pretty much it for the skill tree. At the moment now, I'm sitting at level 82, and I would say this is a very comfortable level to actually do Harbor Bridge over and over again. In terms of Pantheon, I'm using Lunaris because this one gives me additional physical damage reduction for every enemy around, up to 8%, increased move speed, which is what we want. And Garukan will give you more attack evasion because you take savage hits. And also you want to complete the Endless Dunes, what do you call, the extra gods that you kill, that gives you additional note down there that gives you 6% increased movement speed if you haven't been hit recently, which is really cool. So that's the Pantheon. So I covered up pretty much everything. So basically the idea is this, like, if you go to your waypoint, the location here will be in Part 2, Act 8. So there's no direct portal to Harbor Bridge, unfortunately. So the only way you can get there is you have to go through Lunary's Concourse, or you can go through Solaris Concourse. Okay, so you go through Lunary's Concourse here. I'll show you how you get there. So you go through Lunary's Concourse, go down south, all the way south, and there's a door here that goes to Harbor Bridge. Okay. So the trick is, once you get here, the reason why we pick Harbor Bridge is because Harbor Bridge is a really, really long stretch. It's only one straight road, which is really, really suitable for delirium mechanic because it goes one direction. So when you go from one end to the other end, pretty much you can do the same thing and come back from that end from this end and this end from that end. And it's a really long stretch. That's number one. Number two, there's a huge, large amount of packs and minions in this map as well. That's why it's a very ideal map to do low-level currency farming. So basically, once you're done, you come out, and then just in case you don't know how to reset the map, it's very simple. Just hold Control on your keyboard and Control on your keyboard and left-click on the portal here. This one, just left-click on it, and it'll show you that you can enter a new instance. So just click new, and then the whole map will reset again, and you can do it over and over and over again. So the cost of the maps will be 0 because you don't need any maps. You can just run this over and over again because it's part of the act missions. That's the beauty of it, and it's just a long stretch and huge amount of monsters and bunch of stuff for you to farm. So this build is also suitable for you if you want to farm low tier maps as well. But as you want to go for high tier maps, you will need to actually change a few items here and there and scale through. But I might come up with the build guide for end game content one. As for now, this Magic Find one will be a very suitable build for you guys there who are trying to make some currency and still new to the game. This is really good and a really good option for you to try. You can also try with other different skills, but I find that Tornado Shot clears very well, and I like bow skills in general, so I think this is a very nice build to play with, and I want to use Deadeye anyway. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you like the video, or you have any comments or suggestions about the video or the build and stuff like that, please drop a comment down below, like and subscribe my channel if you like videos like this. I have a lot of build guides, tips and tricks and whatnot. I do stream every day on Twitch. The Twitch link will be down on the description below as well. I stream daily from 9 p.m. onwards, GMT +8 Asian time. And you can check out my stream and come hang out. And if you have any questions about the build, please feel free to come by. I'll be more than happy to give you the answers you need. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and make more currency, and best of luck in your loot. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys.